Terry Smith has laid out amazing characters that have great relationships with each other and a terrific mythology, and we're basically starting with that and staying really true to that in terms of who the characters are and how they relate to each other, but then we're moving in a different direction because in a weird way the books take such a brief period of time and and there's a conclusion to it, and we need to stretch that out for hopefully over 7 years. So we're really just starting with the characters. It's this Adam and Cassie thing, and then the love triangles and the power struggles. That's what really appealed to me to begin with, and that's what I think is the strongest. It's the same as Vampire, like really amazing relationships. So we're kind of riding those, further than she was able to because she only had 3 books, and we'll have a little bit more.
Definitely a question is, the books catered kind of towards a younger crowd, it's a little bit light, but how dark is the series going to get with so much potential? Is it going to be edgier than the books?
Yeah, I mean the books, it's taking the characters, but we're exploring the darker side of this a little bit more than the books allude to it, and the books have the Crystal Skull, and the books do a lot of things that kind of hint at the darkness, and we're kind of exploring it further, and using the multi-generational element to say, like, well, there's darkness out there, and they all have a feel for it, and exploring those characters, kind of balancing. It's easy to slip into the dark side with this magic stuff because it's so tempting and so easy, and we're going to try to explore how easy it is to become someone that you never expected you'd become. I think, for one thing, in our case, what I find very unique is that our kids, the supernatural entities of our show, are regular kids. And as opposed to Vampire Diaries, where they've been around for 130 years and they've been to chemistry class 1,000 times, our guys are going through these things for the first time. So first love and first betrayal and first, the friendships and the family stuff, they're going through it themselves the first time. And then the supernatural element is just added onto it. So it's a fun world to play in because very, very relatable stories, very, the emotions that they're kind of experiencing are what we know, and then we're adding the supernatural element onto it.
And what they're experiencing is kind of a fantasy for people. I mean, they get to do things that we wish we could do, and so we get to enjoy those experiences through them. And they're so likable and beautiful. Who wouldn't want to do that?
We're excited. It's an amazing opportunity, and I was a huge fan of Vampire Diaries before I ever started this, and I love the idea of being able to try to keep that audience interested and maybe bring in a different audience also. I think that fans of the Vampire Diaries will like the way we tell stories, and will like the excitement, and I think we'll be surprised by the depth of emotion we get to dive into. And again, because no one of our characters has had this 130-year history behind them, it's a little bit more relatable, I think, than Stefan and Damon. So in that sense, I think Vampire fans will. It's like 6 Alanas, and I think that's kind of fun.
Well, it's kind of cool because, the notion is that these people are descended from witches, so it sort of runs in the family. And each generation has approached that challenge and that opportunity differently. And the parents' generation had an experience 16 years ago that gets alluded to in the pilot, and that it's elaborated on in future episodes where things didn't go as well for them as it could have. And so the question becomes, will this generation of kids, how will they deal with things also in relationship to their parents? Because not every character is what they first appear to be in the pilot. So there is some sort of there's a lot of parent relationships, father-daughter, mother-son, mother-daughter, and when you're a teenager, those can be highly combustible relationships, and they are here too for the normal reasons, and then also the more abnormal reasons. It gets addressed, but it also lives throughout the life of the series. And the great thing about that, it's kind of like the earlier question. When you're 15 and 16 and you meet someone, the word destiny comes up in your mind a lot because it's huge and it's the first time and the feelings are so big. And the fun thing about this show is that the feelings are there, but then there's also this weird mythology that seems to suggest those feelings aren't being experienced, completely without reason. So that's going to go on for a long time. There'll be ups and downs and all kinds of things with those two.
I don't think we're going down the flashback route necessarily because we can't do flashbacks with our same actors like they can. But that mystery is going to play into the whole season. It's going to be awesome, and we'll learn more and more about it, and it'll twist and turn as the season goes on, and hopefully keep people entertained.